Hey man, welcome here, welcome back. It's that guy, for those who gets here for the fandom with the fandom. Just got done watching this Cincinnati game, Giants game on prime time. Giants at home. It's not a good one. Uh, Not too much to say about it. I don't think it was kind of a just a quiet effort throughout the game, really. Defense was playing pretty solid for the most part. Especially up front with like Burns and Aziz Ojulari early out and mostly through the game too. Always putting some pressure on the QBs. Got a few sacks, some pass knockdowns, a few more sacks. And yeah, the secondary was probably just the more challenged thing today for tonight, with Jamar Chase and P. Higgins and Isavides. I'm saying his name correctly right now. And that was just a little different challenge from DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and Jackson Smith and Jigba or and Josh Bobo from Seattle. So it's a different matchup, Fan and Sample, I think they still have for the tight end in Cincinnati. Run game for Cincinnati, it wasn't doing too much until the end of the game where they broke one and defense was holding up as best they could for most of the game, I felt. Um, no real turnover to speak of is kind of what we needed tonight out of the defense. Even though as well as they've been playing, it was one of those nights where we probably needed some turnovers from either a interception or a fumble or something, sack fumble, halfback fumble. They had one that came out towards the end of the game that could have been recovered, but at that point, the offense already up to that point in the game had been kind of it's not on it tonight, man. DJ's not probably not his best performance just from an accuracy standpoint, you know, total game standpoint. Dayball, I felt, felt was okayish. A couple plays in there that we saw were nice. I felt one in particular was one out of the backfield, kind of a wheel route back into the inside. It was a good throw from Daniel, something right there you could see. Coming off kind of slantish throw and yeah, and then after that, man, that play in particular got us in the red zone. That was probably one of the bigger plays. Um, it came up with interception uh, for Cincinnati. Snapped the ball, just backpedaling. There was a few routes developing. One was a short route that was probably maybe his first read, and he just passed that over for something towards the end zone, and the defender got up there and got his arm, and it got hit, popped up, and intercepted. Pretty much put a stamp on that drive. We got back down there again on pass interference call on Slayton, who's just he's a beast getting these defensive pass interference calls. Man, I'm telling you, if there's ever a call in the game of pass interference or defensive holding or something like that into the secondary, it's going to be on Darius Slayton. Being with his ability, his route running and his speed and savvy in it. He's just that type of guy. And tonight he had a good game. I think it was a good game from Darius just on that front. Um, a couple drops in there, missed opportunities maybe. Um, but it was okay game from him. Tracy tonight, man, wasn't the game that we had from last week, but he held onto the ball, which was good for the run game. Has been a real issue. So he held onto the ball, man. So we just take that and stuff like that. What else, man? The defense, like I was saying, the defense secondary. Flop been having a great, couple of nice games these last couple of weeks. I think he had a pretty good game. Probably might is not as good as the last couple of weeks, but still a good game. Some nice coverage. Along with Banks, man, just like I said, it was just tough coverage there, especially with Flop. He was on chase for a lot of those coverages, so he probably had a better game than we can give him credit for. 'Cause Chase is one of the top receivers. Number one, number two, number three receivers type thing. And and Flat is very caliber talent right now who's developing. But just the matchup is a little different, the size and things like that. It's a tougher cover, but it was good there. But just it's hard to keep up with that for us tonight. And with T. Higgins was doing his thing for opening the game, man, it was some problem stopping him, even with Banks playing pretty tight coverage for the most part. You know, we didn't get shook off too much like that in the secondary for many big plays, but that chase in one particular flop, that was probably one of the better plays from Cincinnati against our defense. For the offense tonight, man, it was pretty broken. Broken was bad. It was not great. It's not good. We already discussed last week, how we're just gonna have peace of mind about the QB play that we're getting and appreciating it. And that's not changing right now. I'm not gonna be too down on the QB play that we got, but just wasn't it wasn't a good night. He was off, man. Even when we were trying to run some of our normal concepts and the short routes, the drag routes, China routes, things like that. Cincinnati was just all over that tonight. They weren't allowing to have many pass breakups from their DBs, and more like this. Well, if you watch the game, passes were kind of behind where you want them at for running those routes and where the defensive coverages at the time. But there was some tough zone looks too that they had, especially in that first half, where it was not a good night for Daniel. He just wasn't seeing the field great, and he wasn't throwing the ball, that much better, if at all, tonight either. It's not much to say for the week. I'm sure it's gonna be like I said last man. People gonna flip flop this, say this and that, and bench him, not bench him. He's the guy, he's not the guy. He needs help, he's not help. Malik Nabers this. All well and good, man. But the game is, man, it's when we have these win loss records now in prime time, win loss records on a Monday night, a Sunday night, Thursday nights, division opponents. Dallas is 13-0, 1-14 on prime time. Then the home games. It's just so weird for us, man. It's so not great, man. Not good. It's been a long time for people that get to go to these games like that. To have to see the team come in and get a hope away games, and they come here and they just nowhere near the same thing, man. And it's hard to discuss what it might really be in the inner toils of it. But after so long of the offense being what it has been as far as what's been leading it, so we have a more clear picture that we don't have to have that discussion like that. And yeah, but more than welcome to have it, of course. Of course, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying me, myself, and maybe some of the fandom here kind of passed that discussion with that. And we're just kind of looking forward with these 11 games to go, basically, and hoping that everybody can, play up to their best abilities and, whatever accolades come with that. Dexter Lawrence had a nice night. You know what I'm saying? Like, the defensive players are really playing well right now. And maybe somebody like Dexter Lawrence is in a serious running for a defensive player of the year, which is good to see, great to see. Not to take too many things from the wins or the losses that we have, but even the play that the players might have. It'd just be interesting to see what we'll hear this week, man, from the media and just parts of the fandom around it. I ain't got much to say, man. I'm more than enough said my piece on it, I'm sure. Enough people are tired of hearing about it and barely even want to hear about it when they do come by. So I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I'm gonna leave this video just as short as it is, and we'll see where it goes from there. That's my opinion. I point blank with it, man. Close it gets. Thank you for coming by, liking and subscribing if you do. Watch never how much, like it, hate it. Peace out, man, and y'all be good. Bye.